Renault Petronas sponsors Mercedes for around $75 million per season, and Oracle has a 5-year sponsorship deal worth $500 million with Red Bull. There are even rules to cut costs, but the numbers are still crazy. How do they make money? You might think it's all about wealthy donors, but it's not. Money in Formula One. Formula One teams make a good chunk of their money in a few different ways. The second biggest source of income comes from payments they receive. Each team in the championship gets around $36 million, thanks to TV rights and sponsorships from the racetracks. On top of that, they also get paid based on how well they do in the Constructors' Championship. For example, Mercedes, the 2021 champs, received a cool $61 million, while Williams, who didn't fare as well, got $13 million. Ferrari, being Ferrari, gets an extra $68 million just for being themselves. There's something a bit unusual when it comes to payments. Teams like McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari get what's called Constructors' Championship bonuses. These are extra payments of $35 million for their past performances. Red Bull got an extra $36 million for being the first team to sign the 2021 Concorde Agreement, and Williams received $10 million as a heritage payment. Now, what's the Concorde Agreement? Well, it's a deal that aims to protect the value of the F1 teams already in the game. To join the F1 club as a new team, you need to cough up a hefty $200 million up front. This money is then shared equally among the existing 10 teams. In return, newbies get a slice of the prize money and TV revenue. Sponsorships. Sponsorships are the most profitable way for F1 teams to earn income. They can get support from companies ranging from $500,000 to $53 million per season. However, it's a bit of a catch-22 because to be a successful team and attract more sponsorship, they must have the resources to compete at the top level. For as little as $500,000 a year, you can sponsor an F1 team, but you won't have your branding on the car or driver. If you're willing to invest $1 million a year, you can have your logo on a midfield car. While it would cost between $3 to $5 million to sponsor a top team like Ferrari, Mercedes, or Red Bull. The cost of title sponsorships varies from $20 to $50 million per year, depending on the team's strength and reputation. For instance, Mercedes received a substantial amount of TV coverage during the 2021 season, which they can use to determine their sponsorship rates. It's rumored that Cognizant paid $37 million for its partnership with Aston Martin, while Petronas paid $44 million for its deal with Mercedes. Additionally, there's a significant 5-year, $300 million sponsorship agreement between Oracle and Red Bull Racing. Driver is a racer who doesn't receive payment for their racing endeavors. Instead, they secure their position on a racing team through financial support from sponsors. This practice has a long-standing history in the world of motorsport. However, paid drivers have often faced criticism for their reliance on external financial backing to compete in races. For instance, Lance Stroll, a prominent figure in Formula One, has relied on financial backing from his father, Lawrence Stroll, to secure his position in the racing world. Similarly, Nicholas Latifi's presence on the Williams team is made possible through the support provided by Lavazza Coffee and Sofina Foods. Norris, another notable figure in the racing world, initially had his seat at McLaren funded by his father's financial contributions. Nikita Mazepin, the son of Uralkali's CEO, participated in the racing championship in 2021 thanks to sponsorship from Uralkali. Car manufacturers. In simple terms, Formula One is a clever way for car companies to advertise their cars. When a team performs well in the sport, it can encourage people to consider buying a car from the same manufacturer. This connection to success is a significant influence. For instance, individuals who support the Red Bull racing team might lean towards choosing a Honda car over one from Mercedes or Alpine. In 2019, Daimler, the parent company of Mercedes, invested a substantial $80 million into the team's budget to bolster their efforts to win the Constructors' Championship. Additionally, Formula One teams not only race but also sell engines to other teams. As an illustration, Mercedes supplies engines to McLaren, Aston Martin, and Williams, while Ferrari provides engines to Alfa Romeo and Haas, creating important business relationships within the sport. Where does the money go? I know you must be wondering about this question. Well, let's break it down. First, research and development is a big chunk of the spending. Without a high-performing car, a team is nowhere. Teams like Mercedes employ over 800 people, many of whom are highly skilled engineers, and they get paid well. So, it's no surprise that R&D costs are massive. Then there's the cost of facilities, machinery, and materials, which can quickly add up. engines are another significant expense. Teams like Williams buy engines from manufacturers like Mercedes or Hayes from Ferrari, paying around $25 million a year. This covers the supply of engines for the season, and it's actually a pretty good deal because the teams don't have to invest in engine development themselves. Even if a team crashes a car, the engine manufacturer still sends them a new one thanks to a fixed yearly price. Interestingly, this system is kind of like an all-you-can-eat deal. No matter how much the engines cost to develop, teams pay the same flat rate. They achieve this by structuring their companies separately, keeping the financial books and costs apart. This clever approach helps manage the financial side of things efficiently. Engineers and team management personnel are paid well, but the hefty salaries go to the drivers. For instance, Lewis Hamilton earns a staggering $40 million a year. Team principals and CEO also draw hefty paychecks, with Christian Horner making $10 million a year. Toto Wolff is another well-compensated figure in the sport. So, while the engineers and team staff do earn good salaries, they are relatively small compared to the colossal paychecks of drivers and top management. The budget cap forces the wealthier AFF-owned teams to reduce their spending in these crucial areas. This reduction in spending can have a significant impact because it's often the small improvements in these aspects that make a big difference in the performance of the cars from year to year. However, now it's important to note that certain expenses are not covered by the budget cap. One such expense is the cost of paying the drivers. This means that larger teams still have the opportunity to attract and pay the best drivers substantial salaries. This competitive advantage can give them an edge on the racetrack. Furthermore, by the new regulations, the budget cap is set to decrease by an additional $5 million for the 2023 season. This means that all of V1 teams will need to further limit their spending to stay within the budget constraints. These cost restrictions require teams to carefully manage their resources and make strategic decisions to ensure they remain competitive in the sport. F1 teams earn most of their money from sponsorships, often reaching hundreds of millions of dollars. However, prize money is also an important part of their earnings. One may think and admire these sports as nothing but a leisure activity, but it's much more than that, isn't it?